Greetings, people of the internet. So today I'm going to be analyzing a common trend that I discovered when rewatching a lot of horror movies in the early 2000s. A lot of them had new metal based soundtracks and just heavy metal in general, which was weird because nowadays that doesn't exist really, which sucks. But hey, so for example, early 2000 films that were horror movies like Dracula 2000, the Resident Evil franchise, which that was definitely an interesting series to travel down a rabbit hole for. Freddy vs. Jason, Queen of the Damned, all had like new metal based soundtracks and just alternative metal in general. And today we're going to be analyzing that. So, starting off with Queen of the Damned, which is a movie that I just watched like yesterday, and I noticed that a lot of the songs in that movie only was out for like 2 years at that point, because Queen of the Damned released in the year 2002, and two of the big songs that were on that soundtrack were "Down with the Sickness" and "Change in the House of Flies" by Deftones, which is a great song, by the way. And "Change in the House of Flies" released off of the album White Pony in the year 2000. "Down with the Sickness" released off of "The Sickness" by Disturbed in the year 2000. So, the thing that I'm going to really just kind of guess is that a lot of the songs in that movie hadn't really been out for a whole while, because "Change in the House of Flies," like I said, was only 2 years old at that point. Now it's 25, almost 25 years old, and that's an insane thought process, because that song does not sound like a song that came out 25 years ago. And a lot of the other songs off of that specific album sounded and were just a bunch of crazy shit, because all of the songs to be featured in the movie Queen of the Damned were all written and composed by Jonathan Davis of Korn. And the soundtrack, due to some legal binding agreement, Jonathan Davis couldn't feature his versions of the songs in the federal soundtrack, which is why he hired a bunch of musicians to re-record them for him. Like, there's this song called "System," which was re-recorded by, I believe, Chester Bennington recorded that one. I'm fairly certain he did. I don't know. And just that thought process of new metal being new metal was a rising trend back in the 2000s and late 90s, early 2000s. And just looking up I'm gonna look up the Queen of the Damned soundtrack, just to sort of, the Damned sound. Yeah, so it featured a lot of original music from, like I said, Jonathan Davis of Korn. And, let's see. The first track, "Not Meant for Me," was re-recorded and performed by Wayne Static of Static X. "Forsaken," which is the next song off the album, was re-recorded and performed by David Draiman of Disturbed, another great artist of new metal at the time. And "System" was written by Jonathan Davis and re-recorded by Chester Bennington of Linkin Park. Then we have "Change in the House of Flies," which is, like I said, a really great song by the Deftones. And it's a metaphorical song that, I'm not really going to get into right now. And "Redeemer," which is another song by Jonathan Davis, was re-recorded by none other than Marilyn Manson. And then we have two original songs that weren't by Jonathan Davis, being Dead Cell by Papa Roach and Penetrate by Godhead. Slept So Long by Jonathan Davis, which is featured in the scene where the main character is performing in front of a crowd, and all of a sudden a bunch of vampires are trying to kill him, and and all that stuff. And so that's also the scene where Down with the Sickness shows up. And once again, next up is Down with the Sickness. Then there's Cold by Static X, and then Headstrong by Earshot, Body Crumbles by Dry Cell, Excess by Tricky, featuring Alanis Morissette, and Before I'm Dead by Kidney Thieves. So the official soundtrack comes in at about an hour long. Like I said, recorded from 2000 to 2001, because at the time, at least the aging of these songs, they would have turned 2 years old by the time the movie had already came out. But this movie was actually in production during the early releases of a lot of these songs. And so, yeah, as you can see, a lot of the songs off of this album were performed, and Slept So Long was performed by the lead singer of, I'm not going to say the name of the title because I'm probably the name of the band, but they did a cover of Blue Monday, which that is one of the songs that they are probably most known for. And so, yeah, we have stuff like Disturbed, Static X, and Chester Bennington of Linkin Park, and Papa Roach, and Godhead. Like I said, heavily nu metal based. It's heavily inspired by nu metal, and one of the main plot points of the film is that a vampire, his name is Lestat, if I'm not mistaken, he comes back to life after like 300 years and starts a nu metal band. And so there's that. And I'm going to sort of analyze two more soundtracks, like the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack. And this is another example of a very heavily nu metal inspired soundtrack. And it was released through Roadrunner Records. And so, 20 whole songs for a total length of 77 minutes and 59 seconds. So, we have bands like El Nino, Mushroomhead, Killswitch Engage, fucking Hatebreed, Slipknot, From Autumn to Ashes, Sevendust, Murder Dolls, fucking Powerman 5000. We have Stone Sour, Devil Driver, Sepultura, The Blank Theory, Nothing Face, In Flames, Typo Negative, and Lamb of God. That screams late 90s, early 2000s like never before. So this movie came out in 2003, which a lot of these songs had already been around for a while. And if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't until Dracula 2000. Oh no, Out of My Way by Seether. So, man, that is one hell of a soundtrack. Fucking El Nino, Killswitch Engage, Mushroomhead, and Slipknot. That was a rarity back in the day because Mushroomhead and Slipknot were kind of at each other's throats for a while because one band wore masks and then another band wore masks, and a lot of people sort of compared them a lot to each other, which obviously Slipknot became the more popular band of the two. But that was sort of a fight at the time. But yeah, no, fucking Hatebreed, Sepultura, Powerman 5000, Murder Dolls, Stone Sour, In Flames, and Lamb of God. Fucking Typo Negative. Dude, these are all really good bands at the time. And, fucking A, Like, whoever made these soundtracks definitely knew what was up at the time. And like I said, very heavily nu metal inspired soundtracks, especially considering that that one was released through Roadrunner, which had bands like Typo Negative, Stone Sour, and I believe all of them were at one point in time through Roadrunner. I may be wrong. Probably like Killswitch Engage and Sepultura, maybe, but I don't know. And now, getting to the final two soundtracks. Fucking the Resident Evil 1 soundtrack and the Resident Evil Apocalypse soundtrack. Which these two soundtracks are really fucking amazing. So, the first Resident Evil film, which was released in 2003, I believe. Anyway, so this specific soundtrack was actually composed by Marilyn Manson, which was insane at the time, because don't even get me started on Punisher and Daredevil. I'm not gonna really get into that, but yeah, fucking this 20 song long fucking thing. The last 4 tracks are by Marilyn Manson, being the Resident Evil main title theme, Seizure of Power, Reunion, and Cleansing, all by Marilyn Manson. And like I said, we have bands on here like Saliva, Mudvayne, Il Nino, Depeche Mode, Rammstein, Static X, Fear Factory, Crystal Method, Cold Chamber, Marilyn Manson, and Slipknot. Nu metal, man. And so I can't exactly put this shit into words at the moment, because a lot of my videos aren't scripted, and me looking at these, it's like, whoa, you know? And so the Resident Evil soundtrack definitely had some bangers on it, like I said, Saliva, Static X, fucking Il Nino, Slipknot, with My Plague, which was, I believe, off of their album Iowa. Yeah, My Plague, fucking Rammstein, Fear Factory, Cold Chamber, Static X, nu metal, man. And the sequel to Resident Evil, that being Resident Evil Apocalypse. It's definitely a interesting soundtrack. This one only has 18 songs, but Slipknot. We have Vermilion. We have The Used, The Cure, Lacuna Coil, A Perfect Circle, Killswitch Engage, Rammstein, Devil Driver, Cradle of Filth. You know? CKY, Deftones, Him, Demon Hunter, Thrice, 36 Crazy Fists, Cold, Rob Zombie, and Massive Attack. So bands like CKY, you know, that was definitely, I think this movie came out in 2004. So roughly around the same time that Volume 3 for Slipknot was coming out. So Vermilion being the title track and being the track that plays at the end of the song, along with the other song being the Killswitch Engage, End of a Heartache. Fucking CKY though, that was a band that grew into popularity because of like Bam Margera and skateboarding at the time. So to see CKY's Escape from Hellview to be featured on this soundtrack is absolutely insane. And stuff like Lacuna Coil, The Cure, The Used, Deftones, fucking Cradle of Filth, and Rammstein. Those are all just, oh god, fucking early 2000s horror films. And hell, I'll even throw in Dracula 2000 for example. But early 2000s horror films like I said, Freddy vs. Jason, and the Resident Evil films, and Queen of the Damned. Nu metal. Nu metal is like one of the main driving points for a lot of these films. Which is why I still go back to watching a lot of these, is because nu metal is a genre that I really enjoy listening to. I know a lot of people don't like nu metal, but yeah. So the Dracula 2000 soundtrack, I've like briefly looked at it here and there, but motherfuckers, from holy shit. Okay. um. So to list off the bands, we have Powerman 5000, Disturbed, System of a Down with The Metro, fucking Monster Magnet, Godhead featuring Marilyn Manson. We have Pantera, Linkin Park, Static X, Head PE, Taproot, Endo, Flybanger, Half Cooked, and Saliva. Holy mother of God. So this soundtrack comes in at about, roughly. And The Metro, which was a cover song that System of a Down would like frequently play at shows, and they finally released it, and it was not an album release like a lot of other System of a Down songs. That was actually like just for Dracula 2000 and Not Another Teen Movie, I guess, because Not Another Teen Movie features covers of 80s songs, so there's that. But yeah, no. And Bloodline by Slayer, which is a fucking banger of a song. But yeah, no, fucking Powerman 5000, Slayer, System of a Down, Monster Magnet, Godhead, Linkin Park, Pantera, Static X, Saliva, and Head PE are all. Ugh. I don't know. I'm going into this with like. I did not plan to make this video. This was a video that I was just like, hey, there were a lot of early 2000s horror films that had like nu metal soundtracks, and I did a video of it. And holy shit. So the crazy thing about Dracula 2000 is that it was produced by Wes Craven, which is one of the only reasons why I actually saw the movie, was because it was produced by Wes Craven. Wes Craven, aside from being a producer, had like nothing to do with the movie. And then they made 2 sequels. But yeah, no, fucking One Step Closer, Bloodline, The Metro, fucking what a fucking soundtrack. But yeah, no, Queen of the Damned, good movie. Freddy vs. Jason, even better of a movie. Dracula 2000. Aside from the soundtrack, I would not recommend watching Dracula 2000. It is not the greatest movie out there, and neither is Queen of the Damned, really. But I recommend watching Queen of the Damned over Dracula 2000. Dracula 2000 is still an okay movie, just not a... And so... yeah. The soundtrack was given an official rating of 2.5 out of 5 stars. Wow. But yeah, holy fuck. I hope you all enjoyed that video. Just to sort of prove to you guys that I'm currently doing this all on my PlayStation 4. And so that is how I'm looking up all of these soundtracks and shit. And so, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. This was a fun video to make, just to sort of look back at some early 2000s horror films with very heavily nu metal inspired soundtracks. And like I said, whoever controlled the soundtracks for a lot of these films definitely knew what was up. Anyway, like I said, hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment down below what your favorite soundtrack from this era was, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.